Just look at this incredible kitchen cutting device. Why, it slices, it dices, you can even make julienne fries. But seriously, everybody at one time or another has seen one of these gadgets on TV, at carnivals, and on the boardwalk. But few people realize that one of this country's favorite entertainers began his career selling gadgets just like this down in Atlantic City. He's the lovable Ed McMahon. And tonight, PM Magazine's Bob Lacey meets Ed in Charlotte to find out how he got from there to becoming the greatest second banana in the entertainment world.
And now, here's Johnny.
Those words make up what is perhaps the most famous introduction in television. They whip an audience into a frenzy as Johnny Carson, America's king of nighttime TV, begins another monologue. And the man doing the intro, of course, he's Ed McMahon. We all know Ed as Carson's announcer and straight man, the guy with the big laugh. He's a Clydesdale's best friend. He's everybody's Irish uncle. McMahon has a one-of-a-kind job, maybe the biggest second banana in showbiz. However, in one area, Ed McMahon is second to no one. He is one of the greatest pitchmen of all time.
You know something I learned a long time ago? When you work hard, you ought to relax easy.
Here's proof. You want more beef? You buy Alpo. It's as simple as that.
Just a cold, golden reminder, friends, before the next show starts. You'll enjoy it even more with a glass of the king of beers.
Ed was born in Lowell, Massachusetts. His father was a traveling carnival man, working games and rides all over the country. Ed followed Dad's lead. At 16, he was traveling around New England as an announcer for bingo games. At 18, he owned the games, and that put him through college. But it was after the war on the boardwalk of Atlantic City that Ed's career really began. He started selling all kinds of gadgets to tourists who would pass by. What is a pitchman?
That's it. You have a little booth on the boardwalk, and you call everybody. Come right up, folks. We're going to show you the pineapple slicer right now. The next demonstration will be the pineapple slicer. Please, madam, step up. Just move the feet. The body will follow. Move right up to the front. Thank you so much. You two, sir, right over here. I'm counting you number one. And you'd start the pitch. And you take out the famous Morris metric slicer. Forget about the $2 they were, and all over it said $2, all over the box. I mean, it said $2 30 times on this box. Forget about the $2 they were made to sell for. We're cutting the price in half for $1. I don't blame you, madam. You'll be the first one I'll care for. And here's the tomato. Watch how we slice it. And you would do that. Then the glass knife. And you're always promising more. There was always more to it. It never ended. During the middle of the Morris metric slicer pitch, yes, madam, nobody's saying a word, you know. Yes, madam, I will show the glass knife right after this, you know. Whatever, they were always setting up the next show. And pitchmen are kind of a unique brand of people because there aren't very many of them. I mean, there were only like 24 gadget workers at the time I was doing it in the whole world. And I was considered ranked with like the top 4. I was making $500 a week selling gadgets, cash.
And there's only a handful of guys in the country that can
do that.
Right.
If you go on the fairs, you make $1,000 a week. In those days, that was a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, but I mean, you know, $1,000 a week in 1946 was a fortune.
When you're sitting there on the set of The Tonight Show and you're on the air, can you recall back to your days as a pitchman in Atlantic City or a bingo caller in Maine or whatever it was, and call upon those skills on The Tonight Show?
Oh, sure.
Looking back on that as a really
I mean, there's
problem.
a way you hold something. Like I sold fountain pens for a while. Well, there's a lot of ways you can hold a fountain pen. I mean, you can take a fountain pen out and say, this is a wonderful fountain pen. But when you're a pitchman, you say, I'd like you to look at this fine writing instrument. As I open this, notice how the point has been designed to perfect, you know, whatever it is. Well, I do that. It's the same way I hold up the can of Alpo dog food. You know, those dogs don't eat that just because they're hungry. It's the way I hold up the can, you know.
Lots of nourishing meat byproducts plus real beef, soy, vitamins, and minerals.
In 1958, a meeting took place that changed Ed's fortunes forever. He was doing local TV in Philadelphia when he got a call to audition as an announcer for a network TV game show called Who Do You Trust?, starring a rising young talent named Johnny Carson. Carson was looking for not only a guy to introduce him and do the commercials, but to act as a foil. Ed got the job. And when Carson went on to replace Jack Paar on The Tonight Show, along went McMahon. And there began one of the strongest relationships in television.
There's an honesty there between us. There is a realness. I love the immediacy, of course. But, I mean, I think people look at us and we're like two guys that they like. They might like to spend an evening with us at dinner. They might like to hear some of that rapport when it happens at a dinner table. We're all out together.
Ed talks about the magic between Carson and himself in his autobiography when he recalls one of the funniest moments ever on The Tonight Show. As usual, he was making a pitch, selling Alpo dog food, live, when the dog didn't want to cooperate. And guess who came to the rescue?
The real beef could be the reason. Hernandez here. You heard him cry. Come here, dear. Come on. Come here. Here it is. Come on. Come on up. Come on. Right here. There you go. Okay. He's a little frightened. I'll put it down further. Here, Aaron. There you go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, darling. Well, Hernandez is a little spot. Yes, please. Come right, yes, please. Nice Hernandez. Alpha. Now, next time you find yourself looking at the can dog food, yes, nice Hernandez. I just thought, reach for the can that contains real beef. Alpha. That way you can be sure of giving your dog the meat byproduct and the beef he loves. Now, doesn't your dog deserve Alpo?
With his Tonight Show success, Ed branched out to nightclub appearances, movies, and TV guest shots.
Ed, you know, you do all the commercials on The Tonight Show, don't you, hon?
Well, I do a lot of them, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's my very favorite part of the show.
Oh, thank you, Lulu. You really like my commercials, huh?
Yep, that's when I get to run to the refrigerator for a snack.
But Ed's bread and butter remains what it was in 1958. He is Johnny Carson's sidekick, and he is a pitchman extraordinaire.
People say, when you laugh, I laugh. No matter how lousy my day was, no matter what went wrong that day, when I hear you laugh, it makes me laugh. Well, that to me, I'll go to my grave with that.
Now, Ed hasn't always played second fiddle to Johnny Carson. Way back in the 60s when The Tonight Show was relatively new, Ed McMahon hosted The Tonight Show himself about a dozen times.